Welcome, ladles, jelly spoons, and all other non-binary kitchen utensils to another episode of Gravy Wheels. I'm your host, Andrew.
And I'm your host, Hova.
And I'm Frank.
What does that look for, Frank?
Nothing. Just something happened. Don't worry about it. Let's just move forward.
Okay.
How you guys been, huh?
You know,
Good.
Yeah, good as we can be in the times that are.
Trying not to read the news too much.
It's good for your health.
Yeah.
You guys played any new games recently as of recent?
I wouldn't say new, but two games actually. I downloaded Plants vs Zombies for the Xbox 360 on my Xbox One. It was like $5 or something like that on the store. I thought I already owned it, but I guess I didn't. But I just went ahead and purchased it, and I've been kind of addicted to that. That's some good old tower defense fun, which made me want to play the South Park tower defense game, but apparently you can't play that on Xbox One, which kind of bummed me out. And then I downloaded a long time ago, like months ago, the Toy Story 3 game that came out in 2010. I downloaded that on my Xbox One so my kids could play it, and I started playing that. That game's actually pretty fun. It's like open world, like GTA style almost. You like run around and choose your missions and kind of collect a bunch of different stuff, and there's like little capsules like you get from the quarter machines at the diner, you know, that's what you get for like customization and stuff. I don't know. You can buy I forget what's the name of the horse. You can play as Buzz and Woody. You can buy the horse, so then you can ride that around the map and do races and stuff. It's actually pretty legit.
Sounds
So-
not bad, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
So-
decent game.
It's a lot like GTA. So
Not a lot like GTA.
I was gonna ask, like, which character is the hooker?
Yeah, Bo Peep. You just you instead of honk, you know, you just pull the reins and the horse is like, and she comes over and sucks you off. It's pretty sick.
Nope. Don't. I'm already.
Redo, coach. Redo.
I've been playing. I've been playing Zelda Oracle of Seasons. I get them confused because there's two. There's Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons came out at the
Look
same
at you
time.
right now.
And even though they're different, they're like the name is too fucking similar. Made by Capcom too, which I didn't
Oh.
realize they made Zelda games.
Both were solid. Those were solid Game Boy Color entries into the Zelda.
Yeah, I've never been a big 2D Zelda person. Like I've always just like never really enjoyed them that much because if it's one of those things where like if you don't play it for a couple days, you're gonna forget what you were doing and then you're fucked.
Yeah.
Which is exactly the same beef I have with like Super Metroid. Like it's a fun as hell game to play, but if you leave it for a day or two,
Aren't they working on a new Metroid?
they're supposed to be working on a new Metroid Prime game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a new Metroid Prime game and also a re-release of all the other Prime games on the Switch, but we'll see whenever that happens.
I remember playing the one on DS, whatever that one was.
Hunters?
I don't know.
Metroid
I think it
Prime
was a
Hunter.
launch title, wasn't it?
I think.
I think I'm pretty sure I had like a demo card, but I remember playing through that.
Yeah,
And
Hunters was the first person view.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like a multiplayer
Yeah, yeah.
angle too, right?
and it kind of blew my mind at the time because it was a shooter, you know, an FPS on the DS, which was, and I think the bottom half was just like a map, maybe a mini map, I think, something like that.
Your items and shit.
Yeah.
Was usually like the bottom screen would be your aiming input. So like you would
Yeah.
be looking at the top screen, but the bottom screen was how you were actually moving.
And you actually
maneuver.
had to use the stylus. The stylus on that one was
Yeah.
important. Yeah, that's right.
But I've also been playing a bunch of other Game Boy games because I've been collecting them because I was one of the lucky few to get an analog pocket pre-order secured.
Salty.
As
you
was
got-
the other.
Andrew, you got an analog pocket?
I did. Did you?
Oh, that's crazy. I got one too.
Oh man.
Joey, did
It's-
you get one?
It's a karma thing, right? Because I was the only one of the group. Andrew tipped us off that morning that they were going live for pre-sale at like 9 a.m., 10 a.m., whatever it was. And we were
Yeah.
all sitting there ready to do it, and we all put them in our cart and tried to check out. And whenever you got to like put in your, what was it, choose your shipping or put in your address, one of the two.
Yeah, you put in your address, and then it had to do a thing where it calculated shipping for you, and the
And it was just that
calculation
loading
took, like,
circle.
yeah.
And it was like,
I did not
oh,
have that.
okay. So when that happened, I had the great idea of I'm gonna open I'm gonna open an incognito window and try the checkout process again because maybe it just got, messed up and this isn't gonna go through. And while I was filling that out, I look back at our group chat, and Andrew and Frank are like, "It went through, I got it." And so I go back to my original tab, and they're like, "Sold out." And it was
Sold
literally what, 4 minutes?
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
They sold out
8
in
minutes. They sold out of pre-orders. But the reason I said it was a karma thing probably is because I was the only one of the group that I was like, I'm gonna buy as many as I can and resell them on eBay because because they, how much were they? 250, 200?
It's 200 for the pocket, and then 100 for the dock.
Yeah, and we were already seeing people like right after the pre-sale event, people were flipping them on eBay for like $600 for a pre-sale. So
Yeah, they're already astronomically priced on eBay, and they are selling, which is like a bummer.
yeah. To be
But-
fair, I was gonna keep one and enjoy it. I was just gonna sell the other one and hopefully pay for the. I do that with like everything. I'm like, well, if I can buy two and pay for the one that I have, then why not do it?
Yeah, but on the other hand, fuck you.
Hey,
Uh,
I mean,
You're the same reason like they also sell an NES now. They're the NT Mini Noir. There's like the last time they're gonna do it. Their NES sells on their site for $500. If you want to get one now, you have to go on eBay and buy it for like 1,500 because they sold out and they're not gonna make any more.
I get it, and I would care if I wasn't also victim of the same situation, because I bought an Oculus Rift and I paid. I don't remember what I paid for it on eBay, but it was like after they were already all gone on the website, and I had to pay, $100 or $200 markup. And look, hey, you gotta support those habits, You gotta do what you gotta do. So,
Well, anywho, yeah, I've been hitting like every retro game store that I can find and just picking up whatever Game Boy stuff I can get.
you need to send the jewels, the goods, in our chat and tell us. But you know what I would play, like, because I want to get more GBA games too, but I don't really do. Like, I know a lot of the stuff that you're psyched about, I would be like, because it's gonna be like RPG stuff or like, I don't know, games where you're like a crab with lightsabers or something.
Any game where you're a crab is gonna be a hard buy for me.
Yeah, easy buy. All right, well, fair enough.
Did you buy anything recently, Joey?
I did actually buy something. I got myself a little thing called the Amico. Is that how you pronounce it? The Amico?
The Amico.
Amico. Okay. So I didn't even know about this thing until Frank linked the trailer for it. Apparently, it was announced like 2 years ago, but this thing is made by Intellivision, and they actually got a pretty good God Squad put together of a bunch of game devs that have come from other avenues of the gaming community and done a lot of good work on different various projects, consoles and games. And but it's a console dedicated to Intellivision. Well, I guess not. It's Intellivision games and Atari games, right?
Yeah.
Intellivision games and Atari games, and I guess they're going back and remastering not really the entire library, but like a lot, and also making brand new console exclusive games, which are going to be nothing. It's not going to be like a GTA knockoff or anything. We're talking Intellivision type game. Yeah, stuff like that. So.
Yep, but also one of the things they said is that every game that comes out for the Amico is going to be exclusive to the Amico. So
right. Which is
everything
cool.
they've got is just theirs.
And they said that the price point was what, $2.99 to $5.99 or something like that on all their games.
Yeah.
Yeah, under $10. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all under $10 games. Digital store. There's going to be leaderboards and ranking for all the games. It comes with 2 controllers that like have touch screen on them. And the part of the trailer that was kind of interesting too is you could also use a smartphone. So like if you have friends over, you could play like 4-player. If they just want to get on their phones and use their controller that way. And I don't know. I thought it sounded pretty cool. And I actually I pre-ordered the Galaxy Purple, or I don't remember the exact name, but the special edition from. It hurts me that it's GameStop. I hate giving any support to GameStop. But, you know, I wanted to get the purple instead of the basic black or white. I would have gotten that wood grain. That wood grain was sick.
Well, that was a founder's.
Yeah.
The wood grain was sick. I'll figure out a way to make wood grain.
Dude, that thing looked amazing. It's like wood grain and gold. Looked so sick, but yeah, they're sold out. So, but that doesn't come out until it got delayed. It was supposed to come out in October, and now it comes out in May, I believe, right? Or April. Yeah, so we'll see. It was a little bit pricey too. It was $300, and you know, for for an Intellivision, you know, reboot or whatever. I don't know. I was hoping you guys would get one too, because then we could like battle each other on the leaderboards and stuff. But they post out, so whatever.
No, I'll get one a week later when it costs $1.
Don't you say that?
Yeah, shut up. I've already got a camping spot reserved in front of the Salvation Army to get mine.
Oh, okay. All right. It's not. Hey, listen. It can't be as bad as the PlayStation Classic, right? Surely not.
Hey,
Well,
so
they-
what color did you get?
The Galaxy Purple or something like that.
What color purple is that? Is that like this colored purple?
Yeah, I think it's roughly not as translucent though. That thing's sick. What do you got in the back of that? Some special card.
Yeah.
Pokemon Pinball. I knew it was pinball. Dude,
Fresh
I came
battery
across
on
that
the-
recently and I sold it, and I wish I hadn't.
So another thing is, whenever I was buying games for this, is I saw a game called Deer Hunter, and I picked it up, and I was kind of confused because whenever I started playing it, I couldn't pick as like Christopher Walken as a character.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the wrong Deer Hunter.
God.
Not interested.
Did you actually buy a Deer Hunter game, or are you just memeing right now? Oh God. I want to know how terrible it is. There's so many games that I see on GBA, and I'm like, there's no way this is good, so I just pass on it.
No, it's not good.
Wow.
I'm sure it's terrible. But
It's
part of the fun I'm having buying Game Boy games right now, though, is just like I'll buy anything that looks borderline interesting. Like I bought Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Yeah,
like I'm sure
that one was good. That one was fun.
that game is like it's pretty good, but like most of them aren't. So
I just
I'm
ran
enjoying,
across.
like,
I was cleaning downstairs earlier, and I just ran across a copy of original Game Boy, The Hunt for Red October, but it's got Sean Connery on the front, and it's pretty. It's pretty sick just for the art, you know.
This won't play. I'm mad.
A New
oh,
Hope.
that sucks.
It won't play for some reason. It won't play. I gotta go take it back. I guess.
Have you tried
Dirty
the?
contact or something.
Yeah, have you tried the classic like isopropyl with the Q-tip?
I can't keep alcohol in my house, man.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Also got this bad boy. This is a fun one.
Trading card game?
No, terrible.
You didn't like the trading card game?
It's bad. It only has like the first 100, like less than 150 cards.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones that matter, Andrew.
Hey, did you guys know this? Hold up.
Uh-oh.
Did you guys know this?
I like how this turned into an episode of Show and Tell.
Sure.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know.
The Pokeball is opening up the wrong way.
Oh. Are they all
Oh,
like
the
that?
white is attached to the red.
Yeah, they're all like that.
Huh. Never noticed that. That just ruined your day whenever you found that, didn't it?
Ruined a lot of people's days. No, so the Amico is like gonna be pretty sick though, because the controllers for it are nice and small and they fit in your hand, and they changed it from the original version, but it looks like you've got a disc style joystick that was on the 3DS.
No, I think that it actually does rotate. I don't think it slides.
Oh, it's not a slider.
I don't think it slides. Yeah.
But then it looks
But
like
it's
it's got a
touchscreen
full
too,
screen
so-
touch screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can hold it like an NES controller with a shoulder button, and you got 4 shoulder buttons, and then you got the slider, and then you've got the touch screen, which they could, for different games, they could add different features to those, the full screen backlit touch screen. It's pretty neat. It'd be cool.
It could be cool. The thing that like really excited me though is I was watching them like kind of announce games that they're gonna be reviving for it, and they showed they were making a new Burger Time game for it, I was
Game
like, fuck
fucking
yeah, I love
sucks.
Burger Time. Kicks ass.
Never
And
played
they're
it.
making a new Spelunker game for it. And I might be the only person in North America who cares about Spelunker at all. But that shit is really exciting to me. I'm gonna have to sit you guys down and make you guys play at least the first one because you're gonna hate it.
Spelunker or Burger
You're gonna
Time?
hate it so goddamn much.
Both.
Spelunker.
Okay. I was actually at a resale store yesterday, and they had one of the mini arcades for Burger Time. And if it was cheap enough, I was going to pick it up for you, but it was $15. I don't know what they originally sell for. I was like, what? It's just a little mini arcade. It's not like if it was like $5, I was going to pick it up, dude.
But it's just $15.
I think market price is like $30 for them, and they're not even that expensive.
Well, then I'll go back. I didn't know. Jeez.
All right.
Getting judged. No, Frank like made me feel this big right there, man. He judged hard.
For what? For what?
You made me feel like I was the dad that didn't do enough for his children.
Which is a complete lie because you're the best dad.
Aw, thanks,
All those
Frank.
bullshit fucking waffles and stuff you make the kids. I wish you'd be my daddy.
It's a fine line, you know. You want them to have fun, but not grow up obese. So, you know, that's why I make them fruity pebble waffles. You know.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how it turns out.
And you can swim, so that's another big advantage.
That's true. I can swim, so automatically I have that. So I tried playing Fall Guys today, and it was no go, man. Servers were down skidoodles. I don't know if they're back up yet. I followed the account. They've got like a separate account than the Fall Guys account for the server status, which is stupid, but whatever. I don't know. I was gonna, I was gonna rank up a little bit, try to unlock some stuffs and some things.
Nothing doing. I tried to play it the day it came out, and it was just a mess.
Oh, I had no issues the past 2 nights that I played. I played for like 3 hours one night and an hour last night.
Lucky.
Except for there's a glitch sometimes. Just, the listeners, do you know about Fall Guys? No? Well, this is Fall Guys. It's your jelly beans, and it's like a Japanese TV show.
Yeah, if you ever watched MXC, it's basically that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's that
Wipeout? Is that the show on
Wipeout.
ABC?
It's MXC Wipeout mixed with Gang Beasts mixed with I don't even know. To be honest, though, can I be honest? Can I be honest for a second? I just want to say that the way that I saw everybody talking about it on social media, I thought it was going to be like the best thing I've ever touched, and I did enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, and I think it's great, and I want to play a lot more, but. Man, the way people were talking about it, I think it was way overhyped already. I mean, I know it kind of got like surprise released or whatever, but it's good, but it's already got a lot of problems for it to be full release already.
I think they've got the foundation of something really good here.
I do too. Yeah.
It could be like really great, especially if they want to do like events or introduce like special game types for like certain things or whatever. Keep it, if they're doing stuff to keep it fresh, I think it could be really good for a really long time.
What's their price point?
$20, I think.
I don't remember. I paid it for
15.
the 3 of us.
I appreciate that, by the way. Yeah, that's why I don't know how much it was, but I feel like, I mean, these days, man, if stuff's not free, it's expensive, you know? Like, it's crazy how things have changed. But I really think if they want longevity in that game, they need to add Forge mode. If they had a mode where you could make your own levels / challenges / whatever you wanted to, you know, like, and it would be tricky because, you know, it's got to be, especially with that many players and everything, but like Halo had a good system of like, if it doesn't have, you know, X, Y, and Z, then you can't save and publish it to the whatever. Or same, Mario Maker is a good example, a better example probably. You know, if they had the right tools in place to where like, okay, no, like obviously you're creating a BS level that no one's going to be able to do anything. You know, like with Mario Maker, you had to create it, then complete it, and then publish it to the whatever, the market, and then a rating system so the good ones go to the top. Man, but if they basically Mario Makered that game, dude, people will be playing that game for 5 years, easy. You know what I mean?
So one problem that I have seen with it is that the player base, it's too big for the pants that it has, because they didn't think that whenever it rolled out that it was going to be this many people were going to buy it and play it.
Right.
They had to shut down the PS4 accounts from creating accounts for like 2 hours. They just
Really?
did not. They did not anticipate how many people were actually going to get it, and it's really a thorn in their foot because you get server issues and you just can't join matches, or sometimes you get kicked out. But
I mean, there's nothing else you can do in the game if you can't join a match. That's
Right,
it.
exactly.
There's not even no training or practice or anything like that. It's just you're toast.
And unfortunately, the way that the gaming community is these days is if it's not working like 100% right at the get-go, right at the gates, people are like, fuck it, I'm out. Like, I'm done, I'm going on to the next thing. Warzone's got Season 5, and, all these other games are coming out, and, like, screw it, I'm going to whatever else. The attention span of gamers these days is very, very, very small.
Yeah, I'm a part of that too.
Oh yeah, same. I'm all 100%. I'll admit that like I get hyped about games. Like Hyperscape was one. Hyperscape came out and I was like, this game's fucking amazing. It's great. I love it. And then like next week, I wasn't playing it. So I don't know, man. I get into games and out of games very quickly these days.
Yeah, it's so weird to think that these things that people are spending years and like millions of dollars making are becoming so disposable.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
so
scary,
easy
man.
to just move on from.
It's a scary industry to be in. I'm sure. I can't imagine, especially if you're like, the owners or some of the top people that are making the decisions and how we're gonna roll stuff out, and then it comes out and everybody's just like, all it takes is like one viral tweet, and then everybody else is like, yeah, fuck this game, and you're like, shit, there goes, the last 5 years of my life.
Little Civil War talk here. The new consoles, huh? Xbox is going to allow you to use Xbox One controllers with the Xbox One X, 5X, version X. PS5, no.
No, sir.
Except for some older, like keyboard and mice and joysticks and stuff, maybe? Like other, like peripheral controllers and not actual controllers?
Specialty controllers, yeah, they've said will be okay. They'll move on. So like you don't have to replace your $200 arcade stick or whatever.
But what about like scuffs and shit? Is that a specialty?
I don't think so. I don't think
because
they're qualified.
That almost
those are just modified regular controllers.
So that sounds like an intentional block to me. You know what I mean? Like if they're allowing certain joysticks and gamepads and stuff to work still, but blocking the the DualShock 4.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't understand like what's. Yeah, sure, you want all the games to take the the new features of the what I can't even remember.
The new functionalities of the new PS5 controller.
I get that, but why not still allow the DualShock 4? It's kind of a crazy move to me.
I think that there could easily be some kind of middle ground, and
yeah, exactly.
It wouldn't surprise me if they got to that point eventually, but I don't know. I kind of get it. Like, they just need to sell controllers. They make money off of that shit, so.
Yikes.
That's basically it. I agree, though, that
the console's a loss leader. They're losing money on the consoles, and they're going to make money off of the games and the accessories.
People got so mad at Xbox because they, like, immediately after that news dropped, Xbox was like, you can use all previous Xbox controllers on this, people were salty about it. It's like, well, I mean, it's true. They're just that is the name of the game. They're supposed to be promoting their shit and telling you how it's different from Sony and what the pros and cons are, and this is a pro for them.
I think it makes sense too for Microsoft because they have spent a long time building these premium controllers. You've had the Elite controllers out now for like 5 years. They've been around for a while.
And Sony doesn't have a version of that.
Exactly. Sony doesn't have a version of that, so there's no real reason for them to they're not going to burn their player base that bad, I guess. But yeah, if Microsoft did that, it would be a shit show.
Yeah, people would be like, why do I have this?
Yeah.
So another thing with the new consoles, I don't know if you guys have kept tabs on this, but there's a bunch of like TVs coming out that are say that they're PS5 ready or Xbox Series X ready, but really they're like bullshitting that and using that as a marketing thing to get people to buy these new TVs. And like
Yeah,
one of the
meaning
TVs,
what exactly?
one of them is like $3,000. Well, here's another thing which I've kind of learned about with my new monitor setup and my new setup here is it looks like the PS5 TVs might have something kind of like G-Sync and FreeSync in them.
Okay.
So it's got variable adjustment refresh rate for the monitors that match up to the graphics coming out of the PS5, and maybe something like that for the Xbox. It's like really fuzzy, but it almost seems like they're just slapping these fucking stickers on all these new TVs, saying that they're PS5 ready and they're Xbox Series X ready whenever, like, they're actually not.
What does that even mean? Wouldn't any
Exactly.
TV with a fucking HDMI port be Xbox Series X ready? Or
Well, no, but
PS5
they're
ready?
not like. Not every TV is going to be like 4K at 120 hertz.
Then we need to come. There needs to be some sort of agreement on what that means. Then what PS5 ready means.
Right.
And that's exactly why people are pissed off. And some people think that it's incredible and it's amazing that they're like doing this, but it just seems like it's all marketing bullshit.
Yeah,
You
it
can
sounds
buy
like
a fucking fancy new TV, but I think that the PS5 is going to have something that's really close to like FreeSync, which is open source and works with NVIDIA and with AMD ready monitors. But like G-Sync is like certified actual G-Sync is you have a chipset inside your monitors that is certified by NVIDIA that works with G-Sync on your NVIDIA graphics card to make sure you don't get like screen tearing and stuff like that. But the Sony stuff is they're not even, and there are even TVs that say that they're Xbox Series X ready, but like the details are so vague.
Huh.
sounds like a nothing to me.
Yeah, I'm not one of the people that would even worry about that. I didn't get a 144 hertz monitor until less than a year ago, for my PC, so I never even experienced what it was to play on anything over 60 FPS or whatever, so I don't know. The 4K stuff is all, like, it looks nice whenever you're at, like, Best Buy or something and they have, like, something that is capable of playing true 4K on a true 4K TV, it's like, oh, damn, that is schnazzy, but do I want to spend 15 grand right now to have it? Not really.
It's just not worth it.
And I know
it's
I'm
beautiful,
exaggerating a
whatever.
little bit. You can have it more affordable than that, but still, my point remains the same.
But I've really experienced that going up from my old desktop rig to the new one with the monitors and with the G-Sync and everything. Like I can really notice it. Like I know. But
Right.
like this seems like they're just slapping stickers on shit and saying it.
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
$1,800 and
Yeah.
$2,000 fucking TVs.
Well, and your monitors are correct. They're 1080p panels, right?
Mine
Yeah,
is.
and they're I don't know if they're 140 or 160 possible,
Hertz?
but they got yeah.
I only
It might
have
be
one.
Yeah, so then like you're not the thing that you're getting there, you're not benefiting from a higher resolution or pixel density or any
Right.
of that shit. It's just that the motion is nicer.
Yeah,
Right.
no
Which makes sense.
screen
Like
on it.
it makes sense that is kind of the way to go because it's harder to appreciate. Like you have phones with 4K screens. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I'm
Like
gonna play fucking Plants vs Zombies while I'm taking a shit in 4K. What's it matter?
That's like one of the
And is
first
your-
things that most people do is they turn that shit down. Like all the OLED
Yeah.
settings and everything, you turn that down because it's like, well, I'd like my battery to last more than 3.5 hours. So
Exactly.
I'm going to turn all
And,
that
like,
stuff off.
your phone is not going to pump out like good 4K graphics for you. Like
Right.
even like nice computers have hard time pumping out 4K.
Yeah,
60
exactly.
frames.
It's the same people
So-
that complain about all that stuff, but I would maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like 90% of gamers, unless they have like the rig, like the $10,000, $5,000, like just insane PC, most people that have nice PCs still boot up whatever game it is and end up sacrificing graphics for performance. You know,
Yeah,
like who
totally.
doesn't do that? I don't care how. Every time I've gotten a really nice PC and I'm playing like whatever the new game is, it's like, oh yeah, this is pretty. But every once in a while, I'll get that little hitch or whatever that bothers me. So it's like, well, I'm gonna tank the graphics because at the end of the day, I don't care. I would rather not have, that hitching or whatever.
Yeah.
Non-issue stuff. Just gamers never being happy as always.
It makes me wonder how the PS5 is going to handle, because it's supposed to be backwards compatible, how it's going to address PS4 games that run at like 30 frames. Trying to come out with versions of those that update that. Like Last of Us 2 is a 30 frames per second game. Beautiful game, but like that's just the frame rate it runs at.
Right.
It makes me wonder what they're going to do with the
They're not fully back compatible with all PS4 titles, are they? Or is it just select, or how's that?
I don't know, man. They're doing it their own fucking way, where it's going to be too complicated and unnecessarily stupid.
Well, and then do you guys remember about maybe 4 weeks or 5 weeks ago back, a bunch of guys hacked the PS4 and found the PlayStation emulator inside of it?
Oh yeah, that's right.
So it's like,
PlayStation, I feel like, has always been behind the ball, and this is coming from the Xbox fanboy, but they've always been behind the ball on backwards compatibility. Like, I remember I got a Vita on a Black Friday sale because it was like stupid cheap, and I was like, all right, whatever, I'll get a Vita. Surely I'll find something. And I got on the PlayStation Store, and I searched Twisted Metal, and they had Head On, and even like 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Like, I think they had like all of them, and I downloaded them all. Or I bought them, or at least I bought a few, and almost all of them. I think Head On worked like decently, but there was like Twisted Metal 4 and Twisted Metal 3. You couldn't even like the buttons weren't mapped correctly. It's like, oh, I just bought this game for like $10 or whatever, and you can't. There's no way to shoot. None of the buttons will shoot. I couldn't even figure it out. I was like so pissed off. Like, how do you even do that? Like, at least with Xbox, yeah, you might have to repurchase games again, and not all the games are backwards compatible, but at least like button mapping, I've never bought a game on Xbox and been like, oh, I can't shoot, like, I don't know, it's just ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
Especially with PlayStation having all the
PS4
backwards, they've got such good games that they could throw in that, you know what I mean? They like resell your old library. Same with Nintendo, like they've got this insane library. You just had it available digitally, people would pay for it, and they just can't seem to figure it out. It's crazy to me.
That's the thing that pissed me off with Sony so much, is that they PlayStation Now, that sort of thing that they do. The idea that you can cloud stream PS3 games to your PS4, it's like that. It's like, why? Just why? Like, you have all the technology, you have like all that shit. You could just make it so that they play natively. Like, make it so I can just fucking download, whatever, and play it.
So, speaking of cloud streaming, are we going to talk about the Xbox Extreme?
xCloud?
xCloud versus Stadia, you piece of shit. Stadia, fucking stupid, dumb.
There's nothing. What is there to debate? Stadia is a bad idea. And
Stadia is a great idea
Oh,
a decade from now.
No, it's still not even a good idea then.
Maybe.
It's never a good idea because the pricing structure is so fucked.
So I'm not familiar with the pricing structure.
Well, you're supposed to buy a subscription to Stadia Pro, which comes with like a few number of free games. But then on top of that, you're also paying to buy the games as they come out, which you only own on like Stadia.
Wait, what's the pricing on the Pro?
Full price.
Full price.
What is it though?
Oh,
like
for the games?
a subscription service.
Shit.
I don't know. I gotta cancel mine this week, so I'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
I think it's like $15 or something a month.
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to think, because it's like, if it's like the Xbox Live price, then maybe that's not too bad, but which is about the same, isn't it?
Yeah, but there was only like 5 or 6 free games on there right now, or whenever I got Stadia. It's like nothing, and they're shit games.
It's not like Game Pass.
Right.
A shitload, like, I don't know, 50 games or something, at least, that you can just download and have on your shit and play when you want. And that's kind of it, and they cycle in and out.
Right.
You don't pay any more once you have Game Pass. You just have Game Pass and you're in. It's like, going to Disneyland. You get into the park and then you can ride all the rides.
Right.
But At Stadia is like, okay, you buy it to get in, and then you also need to keep paying to play the games. It's like I don't want to pay monthly fee for Stadia and then buy Destiny 2 for $50. It's like it just doesn't make any sense.
And it's all the processing for all the graphics and everything is done
on the cloud,
fucking somewhere else on the cloud in their server farms, streamed to your PC, which is like cool because I fucked around with it. Like that's cool, like technology what they're doing, but like there's some lag here and lag there, and then what happens whenever it goes tits up? Where you can't ever have it offline.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's like the security with digital purchases on PlayStation and Xbox and even Nintendo, I guess, is like the hope. You know, I mean, it's still the same at the end of the day, but I think in the back of your mind, you're like, well, hopefully, you know, these new consoles that are coming out in Sony, Xbox, Nintendo, they're still going to have my purchase history and hopefully let me access these games on the newer consoles. But with Stadia, yeah, it's like, is there ever going to be a Stadia 2? Probably not. It's probably just going to flop, and then all the money I spent is just literally fucking for nothing.
Or, with Steam, I just keep buying a bunch more of these and backing them all up. I can have them forever as long as these little discs and platters keep going, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's just like Stadia is a concept that is so flawed at its base that it doesn't like if you wanted to salvage it, you would just turn it into Game Pass basically. I don't know. I just like I don't understand the thought process.
It was an attempt to get into that gaming scene, and I think it fell short. I think it's pretty obvious that it did.
Also, who are these people who have these outrageously fast internet connections that can support Stadia game streaming, but don't have any other game consoles apparently, or like computers or anything to play games?
I remember seeing reviews early on of people that were like in LA, you know, that obviously had access to good fucking internet, and they were still like, I remember there was just a guy like sitting in his office and he would like hit spacebar for jump and then wait for it, and then you'd see the player jump and he'd like do it again, and he's like, and they're on like good internet, like no matter how perfect it is, it's still gonna have I mean, it's just crazy to think that like, yeah, you're hitting spacebar and then you have to wait for that to go to the server and do the action and then be streamed back to you and then displayed on your monitor. It's like, is that ever gonna be? I mean, like, you know, one day maybe, yeah, but now, no. Especially not whenever you live in the fucking Midwest, I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, when we're at like the quantum internet stage of technology, then maybe that's a good idea.
Did you say quantum leap?
I said quantum internet.
How many times have we gone to quantum leap on this podcast? A few.
2.5 times.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So what do you guys think about the whole Xbox games streaming to tablets? What is it? I think it's Samsung phones and tablets.
I mean, it's just folding into Game Pass, right?
It's if you. I think it's only if you have Ultimate though, isn't it? I don't think it's just regular Game Pass.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
I think it's an Ultimate thing. But yeah, you get, I guess, access to all that on your phone, or well, maybe not. It can't be all, right? Could it?
Well, I got a question though. Like, can I stream the xCloud stuff to my Windows phone or no?
Why do you have a Windows phone?
Why?
Dude, Windows phones were actually pretty cool back in the.
I was just listening to a podcast today.
They were
talking about
the
Windows
functionality. The functionality of Windows Phone was actually cool. It wasn't that bad.
How did they mess up that bad? Like, how did Microsoft abandon that idea that early on? I mean, think about what they could be right now if they would have just kept going.
I had 3 different Nokia Windows phones, and I actually liked them.
I never had one.
I heard that they were good, but yeah, I never had one.
I just remember it was like it was like the tile system, right? It was like a lot of the user interface was like the tiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
If they would have released a Zune phone, man, I would have been there.
Yeah.
Dude. Yes. Yeah. And they probably would have had like sweet ass Zune phones too, like Gears of War and Halo Zune phones and shit.
Sure, yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I would have been all over that shit.
I mean, like this Xbox streaming thing makes sense to me because it's part of this other service where again you're not paying for the games. You
Right.
just like it's like Netflix. You fucking pay for it and then you do whatever you want with it.
So that's one thing with Xbox right now. It seems like they're coming up with more and more and more and more shit and just throwing it into an existing service. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're taking Game Pass and they're just adding features and adding features and adding features. Like at first I was skeptical. Like when they first announced it, I was like, "What? This is going to be lame, you know." And they just I mean with like Play Anywhere and you know so you can download most of the games on Microsoft Store, and now you know you can even stream it to your phone and stuff like that. And I mean, it's pretty fucking sick, man.
So here's the thing with that. That's kind of like the throw the spaghetti at the wall approach or the shotgun approach. Is I think that what Microsoft is trying to do is they're trying to do a lot of things at once
And just see what
see
sticks.
see what pans out, and then focus more funding and implementation into those and make them run better. And the stuff that people don't really like or use, they still end up with a good product, but it's not going to be like they're heavy hitters of utilization of what they're going with on it. I mean,
Yeah. You know what I would really like to see them do to even further, you know, kind of make that investment worth it. You know, they just like we said, where they keep adding features to it. I really, you know, if they were one of the early console brands, whatever you want to call it, to really kind of think, you know, like, hey, we're going to be more than just a gaming console. Like, we want to be your entertainment center for the living room, right? I think
Sure,
how sick would it be if they started adding, like, discount to movies and stuff like that, too, you know? Because I like the idea of just renting a movie every once in a while on my Xbox, but sometimes it's like, it's a little expensive, you know? I don't want to mess with that, especially when there's obviously all kinds of streaming websites that are free, you know, and illegal, but it'd be cool if they had some sort of I don't even know. Maybe it wouldn't even be just a discount on something. Maybe it would be, you know, a free movie rental a month, or, you know, like rotating in and out shows, just like kind of like Netflix does.
well, and think about this though, is that movie theaters, who knows what the hell the future is for
Right,
movie
yeah.
theaters in the future, right? Tie up with fucking Miramax and you know and all those
Yeah,
companies and be like, we'll offer you. We're not going to the cinemas anymore, so you can, I don't know, pay $90 for your kids to watch Cars 4 on your Xbox at home.
I've always
No, it's-
said that. You know, like as much as I love the theater situation, like I've got a banging TV, I've got a banging, you know, surround sound. I would love and prefer to just watch the new big blockbuster movie at my house. Now that comes from the perspective of I live 20 minutes away from the movie theater and, you know, stuff like that too, but
yeah.
I would rather pay a little bit of a premium. I also live in a podunk area where a movie ticket is like $6 as opposed to like 15 in most people's cities, you know. So it's cheap for me to go to the theater, but I would rather pay 15 or $20 to watch it on my couch on my own setup. And I get that there's all kinds of like, you know, they don't want people being able to, you know, just use their Elgato game capture to record the new Star Wars movie off their couch. But there's got to be answers for that kind of stuff, and I think there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, it's the movie situation bums me out just because I think about all of like the really good times I've had in movie theaters and how much I really like to go see a movie with people.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, I get it. I feel like we're trending more towards a home-based sort of media consumption thing.
Right.
So I don't know. Although I did see that because that's like the only fucking way you can see movies.
You saw what? You cut out a little bit there.
Drive-ins are thriving again
Yeah.
because it's like the only way you can see movies now. And there's one nearby that's playing this weekend alone. They're playing Dirty Dancing, Jurassic Park 3, and
Yeah.
Grease.
That's awesome,
I'm
dude.
like,
Fuck yeah, go watch
Fuck
that.
yeah.
Go to the drive-in.
The first time I saw Saving Private Ryan was at a drive-in, and I was young. And I remember the opening scene, like with the guts spilling out on the beach and everything. I was like, oh my God! Like, it was just way too much at that age. But man, And that's like honestly the only drive-in movie theater
Is
memory
that down
that I
in
even have.
Springfield or something?
No, Sedalia, as far as I remember. It had to have been, because I don't know where else I would have been. I mean, I guess it could have been somewhere else, but that's, as far as my memory serves, that's where it was. But I would
Used to
love
go
to
every
see that
once in a
come
while.
back.
Every once in a while, me and my high school girlfriend would go to like the movie drive-ins and go catch a double feature or something. I
Yeah.
also I just miss double features. Double features are fucking fun.
Right, right. I actually I told my girlfriend recently that she's never been to one, so I was like, we got to go to one, and then all this stuff started. But because there's still a few, like if you search it up, I think there's like 3 in Missouri, and there was one that wasn't too far of a drive. So I definitely want to hit one up because it's been way too long.
You drive-ins, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, they're open, they're banging. You can go
Yeah.
check them out.
Well, the one in Sedalia closed like a long time ago,
Well, sure.
but there's still some, yeah.
There's one in Kansas City. I know that.
Yeah, that might be the one that I looked at.
I forget what the name of it is though. The Boulevard Drive-In, I think.
The Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Nope.
Oh,
Yeah, Boulevard Drive-In. And there's a B&B in Twin Drive. There's one in Independence. There's one in Paola. There's one in Kansas City proper.
nice.
Go get your flick on.
What
yeah.
about like the Walmarts are going to be doing drive-in theater? Like what?
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I saw something about that.
How's that gonna
What?
work, dude? The parking lot at our town is already like always full. Like, how are you gonna fit enough people in there to watch a movie? And
Yeah, and there's
then
always like
all the boomers that are there to just fucking buy grapefruits to fuck later on, they're gonna be pissed that they have to drive
there's
past all
already-
these people.
you're already. It's so the parking lot in that Walmart is so gross, anyways, with all the needles and all the used condoms and shit. What do you think it's gonna be like whenever it's a drive-in movie theater?
Better.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad. There's no way our town's gonna be able to do it. They already put a fucking AT&T store in the parking lot or whatever.
No, I think that there's one. There's one of the ones in Kansas City is gonna do it. I'm pretty sure I saw that.
Dude, our parking lot is so bad because like it's already a small enough town where Walmart is the only thing that people shop at, and then they added the AT&T store, and there's already the gas station in the parking lot, and then they put a Panera and Tommy's Steak Burgers or whatever right there next to it. So it's like,
All right.
dude, it's like going to a demolition derby every time you pull into Walmart. It's fucking insane, man. What are
All
you
right, hey.
doing right now?
Here's the deal. They're doing 2 showings in Olathe, 2 showings in Gardner, 2 showings in Lawrence, 2 in Topeka, 2 in Raymore, which is like a cricket's far away from me, and 2 in Sedalia.
For what?
What are they showing? Yeah.
They're going to be showing for family movies such as Black Panther, Spider-Man, Enter the Spider-Verse, and Back to the Future.
They're doing it in Sedalia? There's no
It's
way, dude.
10/20/20, 10/21/20.
I'm gonna drive by just to laugh at people watching a fucking movie in Walmart parking lot.
Oh no, there's gonna be crime. No, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. That is so bad. Why would they do it? There was a shooting at the one that there was a shooting like 4 months ago at the one they're doing that's right next to me.
Well, they're gonna have armed security. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it'll be all the all 90-year-old Walmart greeters with Uzis trying to keep an eye on people.
Hi, welcome to Walmart.
Who is that old?
Oh my
fucking-
god, yeah.
Smitty? Was it
Smitty, dude. Smitty passed away. I think,
Oh.
or he retired.
Yeah,
one of the two. Death or retired.
Yeah, he was-
I can't remember.
He was 90 10 years ago, so
Dude,
he's probably
everybody.
dead.
Smitty was like Missouri
He's the best.
famous, dude.
He's the best.
Everybody
So
loves
you-
Smitty.
Oh, this is an old school throwback story, and I don't even know if we should say this or not, but I'm
Uh-oh.
going to anyway.
Go for it.
Do you remember whenever, don't mention any names, but whenever some of our friends would go to Walmart and steal booze?
Yeah.
So what they would do is they would like fill up the top with like red Solo cups and ping pong balls and shit and whatever else for the party, and then they would go to the pet section, and they would get like 2 bags of like Old Roy dog food and layer them up on the bottom rack, and then go to the alcohol aisle and put a bunch of booze underneath, in between both of the dog
Like
food bags.
while
and
they
go
were
to-
underage, by the way.
and then go to the oldest lady in the checkout aisle. So she would come down and scan the one dog food bag on top twice. They did that so much. And then one of our friends would go back and return the fucking dog food to get his money back.
Amazing.
We were surrounded by some unique people. I think that's all about we can say.
A friend who did similar scams at Quick Trip, and they would come in these little little styrofoam container that the buns were in. They kept them like nice and steamy.
Do the dollar shots?
Yeah. And you take no. You would take those and like just throw that bun away, and then put a Red Bull can in the. Get a Red Bull for $1 instead of $2.
Jeez.
I wish you could enjoy the taste of that.
I can't even. What is it? Screwball?
Screwball is fantastic. Not for you,
can't have it,
but
you can't have it.
does it have real like?
You,
is it just? But is it? Maybe he could. Maybe he could have. Maybe he could have the essence. Or is it the real deal?
There's a peanut in every bottle just floating there.
I'm not gonna lie. I have recently been to Quick Trip. I think they charge extra for nacho cheese, right? Or maybe you're not even supposed to put. Anyways, I'll go into Quick Trip and get my bun and put a squirtin of nacho cheese down that bun, and then but just enough, and then you put the hot dog on top. They don't even know you put nacho cheese on there, and they don't charge you for it. Now, is that wrong? Is that wrong, or is that right?
FBI, open up! FBI, open up! You motherfucking thief!
I mean,
where's the closest Quick Trip you go to?
What?
Do you guys have a Quick Trip?
No. Just when I'm in KC, like every once in a while, I'll go up there and go yard sailing for a weekend. Not since the COVID though. I don't be doing that now.
That COVID-19.
That there Corvid.
All right.
They ain't got masks good enough for that.
Walmart. Does anybody give a thumbs up for the Walmart drive-in?
No, I don't think so. No, I would no.
Don't do it.
It's like, they see that one industry is doing well, and they're like, oh, we can fuck that up, sure.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like, going to a drive-in is cool. I don't have any problem being seen at a drive-in theater, but I feel like if I, like, took the kids and, like, all right, let's go watch the drive-in Black Panther premiere at Walmart parking lot, I don't want to be seen there. That's not a thing that I would be proud of.
It's just an extra level of sadness that you don't really want.
Definitely. Like, what are you going to do? Go into Walmart, get, like, a $5 rotisserie chicken from the deli, head back out in the parking lot and watch Avengers? Yeah. Like, come on. No.
I mean, that sounds pretty baller. You just throw the chicken bones out the fucking window.
Yeah.
Just everybody's trying to walk around just stepping knee deep through chicken carcasses.
and everything else, because you can get anything you want at Walmart. Yeah, it's a bad idea.
You realize that you've driven home all the way and you've got a chicken rib cage on each foot.
Probably, more than likely.
When was the last time you guys have been to a Walmart?
Today.
Like a week ago. Why?
I haven't been in Walmart, I think, in like 5 or 6 months.
I've been there since the mandatory mask order. Whatever that was.
I've been several times in the last, recently, since we've been traveling, and it's just like you don't always know where shit is in whatever town you're in.
That's always where you end up, yeah.
No, but I was on the Big Island in Hawaii and on Maui. The Walmart that we walked into, on both of those islands, that was over 10 years ago. They were just like our Walmarts here in Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
The layout for every Walmart and also every Target is burned into my brain.
Except for Sedalia, Missouri Walmart is trash. Like, if you go to Marshall Walmart is light years better, and it's a town that's a quarter of the size of Sedalia. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's insane. They have half the fucking products. Their clearance aisle is better. Just everything about it is better. They got the TV monitors with the ads and stuff way before Sedalia ever did. It's really weird. I know we're talking super local, so most of our listeners are falling asleep right now. But yeah, it's crazy how much different that one can be. Ours
coolest
is
Walmart.
behind.
coolest Walmart I've ever been to was like deep in the thick of Atlanta, Georgia.
Ooh.
It was just nice. It's like because like just like a lot of like big corporations and big fast food and big stores, is they have like pilot centers or test centers where they they test layouts and they test product placement and all that. We
Yeah.
were in one in Atlanta, Georgia, next to the advertising company that does Chick-fil-A and Coca-Cola and shit. And like it was a badass Walmart. But Walmart still all sucks. So fuck you, Walmart.
The worst
Get money
Walmart.
out of this.
The worst Walmart I've ever been in. I was opening a store in, I believe it was Campbellsville, Kentucky. Shout out to all my Campbellsville listeners. We were out there, and it was a dry county, which I didn't know existed until I went to Campbellsville, Kentucky. So I go into this Walmart, and I'm trying to get some beer. They ain't got no beer. They've got where the alcohol aisle, like you guys were saying, like everybody knows the layout. So I walk where I'm like, alcohol's gonna be over here, right? You're like, oh, here's the soda, here's the dairy, alcohol's in the middle. No alcohol in sight. You know
Can
what?
I guess what it was? Can I guess what it was?
Yeah, you can guess.
Okay. Was it Bibles and sparkling grape juice and communion wafers?
I was
No.
gonna say Bibles too. So
Worse. There was an entire aisle, I shit you not, an entire aisle of pickled bologna.
Shut the fuck up.
I swear, dude. Various sizes and flavors and styles, like little Vienna sausages and long ones and different cuts and different flavors and stuff. Pickled fucking bologna. Like just
But-
hot dogs and shit. Disgusting. Kentucky, you guys, no. You guys are wrong. You guys need to stop. That's terrible. Now, I bought a
That's
jar because I had
bad.
to, you know, for science. And it was just as bad as I expected. It was fucking terrible. So if you ever go to Campbellsville, Kentucky, you know, don't even think about drinking, but you can get your damn pickled bologna. So,
All right. So I've got a random thing, and then I got a question. All right.
okay.
All right. Speaking of dry counties, me and one of the college students from a couple years ago, we went on a road trip all the way down to Florida to the Kegel Training Center, and this and that, bowling, blah, blah, blah. He went to a camp. I got my certifications, whatever. But on the way there, we stopped into, we didn't know where it was. His grandparents got us like these badass hotel in this cool little town, but we didn't realize it was in a fucking dry county. Well, knowing me, I'm driving on the road all day. I got to get me some, because I got, you know, issues. And so we stopped in this place, and they're like, you can't buy alcohol right now. Like, what? Like, yeah, it's like after 8 o'clock. You can't buy alcohol. But there's a fucking weed dispensary right next to the fucking gas station liquor store. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So then we end up finding a place like just outside of town that had that sold wine. You could buy wine and fortified wine like Mad Dog 2020,
Hell
but
yeah.
you could not buy like beer or vodka or anything. It was disappointing. But on our many roads of traveling, is we're old now and we've been around the country and this and that. What's the coolest Airbnb that you guys have ever stayed at?
It's a good question.
I've got an answer if you want to think.
Yeah, go ahead. Let me think a second.
So, I don't think I've stayed at like quite a bit. 'Cause Airbnbs are always so affordable, especially if you're going with like at least a few other people that are splitting the bill. It's always just like dirt cheap. And you know, I've stayed at some decent ones, but actually, I don't think it was an Airbnb. It was whatever the other competitor is. I can't think of the other.
Verbo.
Yeah, I think it was that. My aunt rented out an entire ranch. It was like a 80-acre ranch or something like that, and there was like a main house.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
there was like a 6-bedroom house with a basement. There was a pool. There was a 3-hole golf course. There was a pond that was stocked with fish with a dock and a gazebo. There was a pickleball court. There was another outside. There was like a whole like shed area that had like a golf cart in it, and it had a pool table. And there was
petting zoo.
there was like 3 rooms in there with bunk beds and stuff. No, like my entire family went. There was like 20 of us or something, like all the kids and everything. It was amazing. My grandma passed away the following, like she passed away like 9 months later, so it was like her last like hurrah. Like she came, and I went to I remember we went to Walmart, which was like a 30-minute drive, and while I was there I bought, have you guys seen, they've got these things that like you hook directly up to the hose, and there's like little straws, and then there's like water balloons. So you just hook it up to the hose, turn the hose on, you get like 50 water balloons all at the same time, which if you're from my era, you remember how that's not how water balloons worked when we were kids.
Yeah.
So I bought like 2,000 water balloons and squirt guns for all the grandkids and stuff in the family. I brought that back, but I also got like 24-ounce cans of like strawberry Ritas, and I brought those back because I knew Grandma would probably drink something like that. So I've got my grandma, like 80 years old, and I'm like, hey, Grandma, I got you something. And she's sipping on this and just like telling all these like old school stories about, you know, our grandpa and all that stuff. My grandpa passed away before I was born, so I don't know much about him. And she was telling like all these stories. And my cousin, Renee, you guys know, obviously, she had like a notepad out. She was just writing all these stories down that Grandma was telling us. It was like such a fucking awesome night. And we were like chilling out there and grilling. We had a fire. We were roasting weenies and s'mores and stuff like that. And we had a family pickleball tournament on the pickleball court. And dude, it was fucking awesome. I got up one morning and just like walked to the pond and started fishing. And like, since I got up so early fishing, everybody saw me out there, and it ended up everybody else was fishing. We were there for the whole weekend, and it was just fucking amazing. Like, it was so much goddamn fun. It was pretty expensive, but by the time we split it, you know, all the ways of how many people were there, it wasn't that bad, and it was such a fun time, man. It was so good.
Mine is not nearly that cool or interesting.
You need to go because I
sorry.
I have to do a thing and talk to a man about a horse in another room. I'll be back, but you go ahead because I can hear you, sir.
Okay, sure. Probably my favorite place that we've stayed at, we've actually stayed at a couple times. It's in upstate New York.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, it's like up in the Hudson Valley, up by Beacon, New York. But anyways, Beacon has this really cool museum that I really like to go to. But anyways, this place is just like, it's not like outrageously special or anything. It's just like a cool little cabin in the woods that is like nicely furnished. The guy that lives there clearly has like a lot of taste and has like nicely, you know, manicured bookshelves and like all this other shit.
Right.
It's just like, it's just a nice spot to like kill the weekend out, and like you're separated from the road by a tree line, so you have a little bit of privacy, you know.
Oh yeah.
There's enough ground for you. There's some outside space with like lounge chairs to chill out. It's not like, not huge, not exciting, it's not flashy, but it's just like, it's comforting. It's like a nice place to just go hang out at.
I think that's the thing. I think that's the thing with Airbnb is like, because of the app, and you can go through all the photos, and you can review ratings too, right? Like review like other people's reviews and stuff, or
Sure. Yeah.
or at least the renter or whatever I'm trying to say, they have a rating too. So like, I feel like with the app, it's kind of hard to go wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I have one Airbnb that was a bad experience, and that was I went to Florida to see my girlfriend, and when we got there, there was some like weird instructions of like you get the key from it was like a gated community, like apartment complex, and you had to get the code, and then we got in. We didn't get the code, but there was some like instructions on how to get the code, and that didn't make sense, so I just like drove up, and there was somebody else already going in, and they just like let me in. So I went in, and then I get there, and the door is locked, and we got the key. How did this go? I opened the door, No, I don't open the door. I didn't have a key. Oh my god, how did this go? This is a vague memory. We didn't have the key, and I had the instructions on the app. It was like something to do with a box and a code and something how to get the key. Are you getting comfortable there? I like it.
Yeah.
That is sexy right there. Anyways, there was a neighbor in the parking lot, and he was like, he's like, fuck it, man. He's like, if I were you, I would just climb in the window. And so I go over and I like check the windows, and sure enough, one of the windows is like unlocked. So I just slide the window up, and I crawl in the window, and I open the door for my girlfriend because she's like out there with our luggage, and open the door, and as I'm opening the door, I'm like getting like cobwebs in my face, and I'm like, oh my god, this door,
what?
yeah, this door hasn't been opened in clearly a while. And so
This
I open
fucking
the
Silent Hill, real life.
basically. So I open the door, she comes in, and then I start looking around, and the refrigerator's open. And I walk over to the refrigerator, smells like shit. There's like rotten food in there. And I look
And I
over
would
on,
have ate out of the refrigerator.
I look over on the wall. There's like a fucking painting that I remember from like looking through the pictures on my app, and it's like on the floor. And I go into the bedroom. The fucking sheets are all messed up. Like half the pillows and stuff are on the floor. And I'm like,
This is a fucking. You walked into a murder scene.
what is that? That's exactly what I thought. I was like, what happened here? I was like, we have to go. So we just get all our stuff. We put it back in the vehicle. She gets on and like calls Airbnb, and they're like, oh, we're very sorry, whatever. And we're like, well, you know, what are we gonna do? It was like 7:00 at night. Like, we're just trying to, you know, like, we're trying to crash. Like, we don't have time to mess with this. They ended up like giving us a full refund on the app. Actually, I think they gave us like a credit for our next one or whatever. But then they also paid for us to have a hotel that night, which was nice. But yeah, that was my one like negative Airbnb. But I feel like, you know, with the way that the app is set up and everything, usually it's kind of hard to have a bad experience with that.
Was the renter like Michael Myers?
I do not know.
describing
They didn't. They
America.
didn't tell us much. You know, like we were trying to contact the renter, and they weren't like communicating at all. There was, like I said, there was these weird, like vague instructions of how to get the keys and how to get into the apartment and all this stuff that like didn't really line up. And then they weren't communicating back, so we just called Airbnb, and they were like, "Here's your money back. Here's a hotel for the night," and it was
So
crazy.
whenever you walked up to the Airbnb, was there like a bunch of like yellow and black tape that said like,
No,
"Please line, do not cross"?
not that I
Yeah,
remember, but
How's your curse going? Because you're cursed now. You know that, right?
probably. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's probably my fault for I broke in. Like, let's be honest. I climbed in through the window.
Yeah.
I jimmied the window. I broke into the Airbnb essentially, and then it was sketchy. But you know what? Everything turned out fine, so it's all good. You know.
Yeah, you didn't get murdered. At least
Yeah.
not, that you know.
That's the positive.
Or you're a
outlook.
shade now of a human.
He's a shade. Totally,
Probably.
he's totally
Yeah.
a shade. Well, I've had like 4 or 5 Airbnb experiences, and one of the ones last year was like actually really fun. Me and I think 9 other guys drove down to Springfield to do the Greater Ozarks Open, which is a massive, huge bowling tournament. It's like one of the biggest bowling tournaments in the country.
Springfield, Missouri.
Springfield. And so we get up there and we're like, is this the right place? And this was like right after like a tornado had went through, like a
Perfect.
small one. And so we're driving through all these neighborhoods and like everything's just all wrecked. Like all these white picket fences are fucking blown up. Garages are like falling apart and shit. Like, are we in the right spot? Like, and then there was no signal in the area. So we're like, well, I guess just let's follow the directions to try to find this place. And we found the place, what we thought, and we rolled up. And like, Chaz goes up there and he hits the fucking code to get into the house. And it's like, it's not working. So like, he tries it like 2 or 3 more times, and then like magically it works. And then so we all go up and they're like, this is weird. It's like a garage down here. Like, it's like all walled off. There's like a bathroom down here and like board games and shit. But it's just like a tiled floor, and there's like a full garage over there with like 4 cars in it. And then we're sitting there and like, is this the right place? I think we just broke into somebody's place. Like, what's going on here? And this old lady comes up and she's like, "Is one of you all Charles?" And all of us, literally all of us, are like, "Who the fuck is Charles?" Like, there's not a single Charles like in this group. And she's like asking us questions, and then Chaz was like, "Oh no, shit, that's my name. I'm Charles. I'm Chaz. I'm Charles.
Oh, that's me.
That's me. I'm Chaz. Yeah, but I go by Chaz, but my name is Charles." I was like, "Thanks." And so we get up in there, and it was like an A-frame loft, and it was completely decked out with beds and stuff. And she had all these snacks and drinks and all this and that, 2 coffee machines, and then they had like a bunch of instruments up there. They had a ping pong table, they had an N64, a PlayStation 2. I think they had a Wii, but everybody brought their Switches and shit. Dude, it was fun, and I have not had that much fun in a long time because they are all teetotalers. Like, yeah, whereas we all know what Franklin is, eh? So they're like all straight and sober and stuff. And so like that weekend I was like, dude, I have to be sober this entire weekend. It's gonna suck. But
Totally
it was like
opposite of like our bachelor party weekend.
Yeah, but it was like those high school days whenever we had to bowl at like 8 in the morning. So we had to be up by like 6:30, but we stayed up till like 4 a.m. both days. And I had so much fun. It so reminded me of the days hanging out at Andrew's house or all the LAN parties where we would just be zonked out. We would stay up till the sun rises just playing video games, and we were so tired we were just stupid. And it was better than being drunk and better than being high because it was just the camaraderie and the having funs.
That's the reason probably that I stayed sober up until the the first night I got drunk was our junior year. The graduating class had a party out at Jake's house, and I don't know if you were there, Frank, but it was just a field party out there. And I remember Tim and some of the other guys, they made me just drink beer until I vomited and kept drinking. But I didn't get drunk until the end of my junior year, and it was probably because a lot of the LAN parties and going over to Andrew's house and all that good stuff.
Or all the times that I was drinking like straight vodka out of a water bottle since we were like 14.
Definitely lived vicariously through you, 100%.
Yeah, we both did, I think.
I think a lot of people probably lived vicariously through Frank.
Frank's already lived like 7 or 8 lifetimes.
Yeah, 100%.
You guys know about that
Frank.
one summer how I did acid 56 times in one summer?
We can't. We gotta wrap this shit up.
That's a lot. That's a lot of acid, dude. We've got so many other stories we could go into, but yeah, we should probably wrap it up. Wait, one more story, real quick. So another Airbnb story. I remember I went to Columbia, Missouri. You guys know who Wheeler Walker Jr. is? The country music singer. So somehow.
Oh, you're on Joe Rogan. You're on Joe Rogan.
This dude, like, we ended up contacting each other because he heard about me because people were commenting. I was singing his songs in videos, and he got wind of that through his manager. He DM'd me. We ended up kind of talking and becoming friends or whatever, which was cool. I've done like 2 interviews with him on my channel. He was doing a show at the Blue Note in Columbia, and he told me, he was like, "Hey man, if you want to come out, like, that's cool. Like, I can get you in. I can get your friends in." I took like 6 or 7 friends down to Columbia. Got all my friends in for free. My girlfriend was there and everything. It was so much fun. We got an Airbnb while we were there in Columbia, and it was such an awesome show. Before the show, he took us down backstage at the Blue Note, which was just cool to be backstage at the Blue Note because a lot of fucking like really big bands have played at the Blue Note. Like, there was signatures all over the walls, and it was fucking awesome just to be backstage at the Blue Note. So Wheeler Walker Jr., awesome fucking dude. But just the thing that I was thinking about while we were talking about Airbnb is we stayed at like some little like decent like hotel, not a hotel, like an apartment complex type thing, and there wasn't enough rooms, and there were so many of us packed in there that you guys know Jeff Jeff put a blow up mattress in the closet underneath the stairwell, and that was his bedroom that night. And I got so drunk that we ended up at the Waffle House right next to our Airbnb. And after we paid, I was waiting on our friends to pay, and I had my shirt up and my nipple on the glass, and I was like, "Oh, Billy!" And like Waffle House was full. There was like,
Did you do pickle races? Did you do pickle races?
no, I just did the nipple on the glass. I was so wasted, but it was good times. Good times. Every time, like Airbnb, there's so many memories for me. So many good times.
And brought to you by Walmart and Airbnb.
Yes.
All right, no, somebody has to spit out them final words.
Who was it? It was me last time. Thanks, Javelin, for letting us use your song "Soda Popensky" as our theme.
Thank you, Tyler, for your awesome artwork, which is on all of
Yeah.
our merch that you can buy off
shit.
of Teespring or something like that.
Check him out on Twitter. I think he.
Open up a new store.
Yeah, he opened up
Yeah,
a
he
new
opened up a
store
new
with a
shop.
bunch of his stuff. So check that stuff out. I was actually looking. He's got some really cool stickers and some stuff like that. And finally, subscribe to us on YouTube. You know, we average 2,000-ish viewers per episode on all the platforms combined, and we only got like 100 subs. So what the fuck, guys?
Trying to get that affiliate shit knocked out. Trying to step our Twitch game up. All that, you know.
And also, if we got like 2,000 views, each and every one of you viewers that listen to this, somehow you make it through it, ask us a question, because it's going to be funny when you hear the answers. Just give us
For sure.
some questions, and we're going to throw some really funny things at you.
And
Right in the face.
We made a goal early on. What's the 1,000 subs they get to see your finger?
Subs for nubs.
Subs for nubs. Frank, Andrew, and I have seen it. It's not pleasant. Well, I won't give any more details than that. But Frank has the rest of his finger, and if you guys want to see it, you gotta go and you gotta subscribe to Gravy Will's YouTube channel. You gotta do it. You just gotta do it.
That's the deal.
And with that,
Alright.
I think we're gonna get the fuck out of here. So thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to fuck that pig.
But the word.
That's the
That
word.
ain't how we end.
That's the word.
The
Fuck.
word. No, that's not the word. That can't be the word.
All right, what's the word?
All right, if that is the word, then swine prophylactic.
2 words, but okay.